Gentlemen, as you know, today was a day set aside for public participation on the impeachment of the Deputy President. I think a lot of time and money has been spent on what we think was totally unnecessary. When you look at what this country is going through, parents are unable to take their children to college, families are unable to put food on the table. We have challenges in hospitals where people are being told to give cash before they are treated, including patients who are undergoing dialysis, and they have been turned away. The country is in a serious crisis, and these are matters that should be taking our focus and our attention as a nation, not a public participation exercise over some power play in the ruling coalition. It is a sad day for Kenya. But what is even sadder is the violence that has accompanied this process. And this violence has been seen across the country. We've seen it in Kiambu, where our client, Governor Waititu, was, and up to now we do not know what happened to him, but we do know there was violence there. And not just in Kiambu, in Nyeri, the entire Mount Kenya, and other parts of the country. But what really has gotten the attention of the nation is the violence at Bomas, where our client, Morara, was seen being attacked from all corners. We saw seats, and we are talking of metallic seats being thrown at him, and he was hit. In fact, we saw him getting attacked on live television, and we want to thank Citizen and the other media houses that covered it. We do know that he's not well, and that is why he has not come to court. We want to thank the court for the indulgence they have extended to us as his legal team, to note that indeed, because of the violence, our client has been injured and is undergoing treatment at the Nairobi hospital as we speak. We must condemn this ugly head of violence that is being reared in our country. And we have seen this in post-election violence, in terms of pre-election violence, and we blame this totally on the president and his ruling coalition that has subjected the country to an unnecessary process that was not really a priority. There are many priorities that many Kenyans are looking at. Removing Gachagua is not a priority for ordinary Kenyans who are suffering, and we should not have subjected the country to this wastage of time, wastage of resources. When we have no money to give to our counties, 5 months, counties have not been paid. We have no money to pay our teachers. We have no money to pay our interns. And here we are splashing and wasting money on an unnecessary process of public participation that will not help the country. It is a sad day for this country. Thank you.
Has no capacity to stand before Kenyans and address the Kenyans on the issues that are of concern to them. Just like my colleague has mentioned, we have a collapsing education system. We have a collapsing health system. We have scandals all over. Perhaps they may have used the day to hand over our airport to Adani. We have scandals now in the judiciary. And there was no reason as to why we should have continued with this process of impeachment if it is not a diversionary tactic that is being used by William Ruto. Unfortunately, again, we have seen the level of violence across the country and called for, including attacking a young man in the name of Morala just because he showed up at the Bomas. And what we are now witnessing is really a clawback of all the gains that we had during our 2010 constitutional movement. We saw this during the 2007 difficulties that we had in the country. It started this way, slowly, violence before elections, that ended up with post-election violence, where we lost over 1,300 people. William Ruto has set this country again on the long path. He is setting up one community against another. And if you ask me, he is really keen on lynching the Mount Kenya community. The 41 against 1 is back on the table. It's a desire that he had before he ran for elections. He is now actualizing it. And for the avoidance of doubt, in the event that that seat becomes vacant, I hold the view that we don't need it in Mount Kenya. Apeleke kwingineko. He should not use it to cause that animosity between communities. Let him take it elsewhere. And finally, for individuals like Kidiki, they must also see the whole plan. Once they are done with Rigi, it will be him. And even those who come from other regions, once he's done with them, for purposes of personal preservation, come 2027, he'll occasion this to any other person who looks like he can start on his way. It's unfortunate that we have lost Parliament, and we have no other institution that we can learn to when these matters are before us. But we hope that Kenyans can hold together until that time. We are able to set this whole system home. If you ask me, what we should be thinking now is also how to get signatures from across the country to now actualize the impeachment of William Ruto and his whole entire administration. Ili tumalize hii kazi ameanza. Asante sana.
Any question?